Thanks, Alistair. And just to follow on Bunger's comments, it's great to see such a big crowd here. It's tough times. There's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world, but it's just great that everyone comes to Alice Springs and talks possibilities and geology. So thank you, everyone, for coming. I'd also like to say thanks again to all the contributors to the Ages 2025 proceedings volume. Believe it or not, it does exist. Here's a copy. We're still trying to chase down where it actually is at the moment, and crossing all appendages. It will be hopefully here for you to pick up today sometime. But it is an incredible volume, and thank you so much to all the contributors, but especially our industry contributors, because we don't underestimate how much effort it takes to put in sort of the work you put in for these abstract volumes. So thank you so much. I'd also like to give a shout out to the University of Adelaide crew. For those who went to the special session yesterday afternoon, which was a really great overview of the incredible work that we've been doing with University of Adelaide under the AIC linkage projects and various companies in the Greater Macarthur Basin. We took the opportunity to have a special session yesterday afternoon, and thank you to everyone who came along. But thank you to the University of Adelaide staff and students who've done some incredible work. And in the proceedings volume at the back, there are the extent abstracts from those presentations. So if you didn't go to the session, you can read about it. And they are just the highlights. So within each of those presentations, there's a whole abstract list of all the, or lots of references of all the work that's been done over those 8 years from those PhDs, postdocs, and staff at the University of Adelaide. So, yes, resourcing the territory. As the minister spoke, we have ongoing funding of 9.5 million per annum program supporting the mineral and energy exploration industry, and I can't tell you what a difference it makes. And a lot of the other state and geological surveys are moving to this space. By having this ongoing funding, we can actually plan better for our programs going forward. It has made a massive difference. When we developed the Resource in the Territory program, once the ongoing funding was announced, we've split it up into a range of themes. Now, these themes may be reviewed in the future depending on government's priorities, but currently the themes are, and I'm going to go through them during my presentation. Is the competitive grants program, the geophysics and drilling collaborations program. We're spending a lot of investing a lot in our geophysics. It was a change for us with this resourcing the territory program to focus on brownfields to bring development in a more rapid sense. And I think you've seen already from about Kingsland Minerals how we are collaborating and co-investing in drilling in near brownfields to extend resources. So that program's continued, but I'll talk a bit more about what we're doing in the Pine Creek Origin. We're also continuing on in looking at our greenfields terrains to open up new areas. We had investment in applying geoscience to low emissions future. And one I won't be talking about too much today because you'll see that in Tracy Rogers' talk, is modernising geoscience data to support a digitally enabled industry. But I would give a shout out that we will have a presentation from Marianne Harvey from NTGS talking about how we've improved accessibility to industry geochemistry. It's made a huge difference, but you'll see that later in the day. So the geophysics and drilling collaboration program, that's $3 million a year. It's designed to co-fund projects up to 50% of direct claimable project costs, capped at co-funding amounts. So we've got greenfields drillings, depending on how deep the hole is going to be in a greenfields area, or if you're doing multi-program, or if you're doing RC type drilling. The brownfields drilling is again similar to Kingsland, if you're drilling near a known resource, but you're extending that. As the minister spoke about, we've in a tweak for this round 18, we're increasing the amount of money available for regional geoscale geophysics because it makes such a fundamental difference. And it's actually an easier thing to acquire in a challenging environment. So we're upping the amount for the geophysics, regional scale geophysics at 150,000. I'm going to talk about the last two categories in a minute, but you'll see QR codes on the presentations. They're splattered everywhere. Please help yourself to the QR codes because that'll take you to the website and the team. That's Kate Mornane and Meg Ellis, who will wave their arms in the room, hopefully. There's Meg, there's Kate. They've done a magnificent job of putting as much information as possible on the website so you know how to target your application as best as possible. So please have a look at that. There's two of these categories, innovative targeting and advanced critical minerals, which we introduced last year. I think the innovative targeting, we work a lot on trying to get this right. I do think if you're thinking about this category, please come and talk to Kate, Meg, Bunge, or myself. We're trying to make this work for you. It's a bit challenging to apply for this one, but please come and talk to us. And the advancing critical minerals, we're really supportive of people who want to reanalyze a lot of their existing material to see if we can get some a broader understanding of the critical minerals commodities in some of these already known areas of mineralization. Key dates. It's already open. It'll close on the 28th of April. So again, make use of people here now to talk about what you'd like to put an application in for. And I think the other key date is we've now decided that all information will be open filed on the 1st of August 2026 for this round, or if you've submitted the project earlier, then on that date. But everything will be open filed at the same date. So it's makes it easy for people who are interested in finding out what happened under those co-funded projects. Ooh, that was me. Okay, that was underpinning exploration success through enhanced geophysics. We are really dedicated to expending a lot of the resource and territory money on getting our geophysical coverage as best as possible. It is the first tool in the toolbox for targeting exploration. And gravity is our big investment at the moment. We've just finished the first phase of the Pine Creek Ground Gravity Survey, and coming up this year will be the completion of that Cowan Creek Ground Gravity Survey, and in pink we'll move into the West Arnhem Ground Gravity Survey. And then next year we'll do the South Georgina outlined in white on the diagram. And that, when we've done that, we will those three surveys will deliver over 20,000 new gravity stations. And that will mean that the whole of the territory will be covered at 4 kilometre ground gravity or better. And I think that arguably makes us one of the most competitive jurisdictions in the quality of our gravity. One thing that we also do is we provide the opportunity for companies to infill in the area of acquisition. So please, you'll hear more of this from Tanya's talk in the next session. But come and talk to us. Let us know if you want to get involved. I think Tanya's sent out the email to opponents in the West Arnhem if you want to infill. So, but they're the areas. Come and talk to us. It means that everybody benefits from a high quality data set. And an example of that is the Pine Creek ground gravity. Now, we chose Pine Creek to do the gravity because this is the tool of choice. It went from 11 kilometres to 4 or better, and it's been an outstanding success. The image you see there is the old. This is the new resolution. So it's made a massive difference. And we've seen the feed-on effect from that higher quality ground gravity by the recent ASX announcement from DeSoto Resources, where they have used that high resolution ground gravity to identify undercover granites along a major shear zone and define new project targets. So it's nothing better than getting new data, and people are using it and finding new targets. Very heartening. We're not only looking at gravity though. Gravity is our, first port of call, but we are looking at upgrading government-acquired airborne magnetic and radiometric. There was a review of the quality of our data in the northern half or the northern third of the Northern Territory by Intrepid Geophysics. There's issues. It's not up to scratch in terms of accuracy or resolution. So we will undertake a campaign of improving that. And the first cab off the rank is the survey of airborne magnetic and radiometrics in the Litchfield area, again in the Pine Creek. It's perfect for that kind of geophysics to improve the understanding of that area. So that will happen this year. That survey, the original survey is in the wrong orientation and the wrong spacing, so it'll be a massive improvement. And I'd like to give a shout out to Geoscience Australia, who does the contract management with us on these geophysical surveys. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to get the data arranged and out to you as well as we can. So thank you. So we'll have a rolling program of improved radiometric and airborne magnetic data over the coming years. We also will look at getting other data sets like AEM, passive seismic, and magnetotelluric. We're having to collaborate with Geoscience Australia under their Resourcing into Australia's Prosperity program, and you'll hear more from Paul Henson about that later. But we also want to target specific questions like where is it best to do MT? So please come and talk to me, Tanya, or Peter Eagleton while they're here. Peter, everyone knows Tanya. Peter, where are you? There's Peter Eagleton. So come and talk to us about what you think, and we'll see what we can do. Um, and I want to really highlight the fact that a lot of geophysical, really interesting geophysical targeting happens under the Geophysics and Drilling Collaboration Program. These are industry designed programs that we co-fund. So when that's open file, that'll give you a really good indication of what kind of techniques were successful in targeting either a particular camp scale problem or a regional scale geoscientific question. Under the GDC webpage, you should find links to all the previous file company reports. So please, that's a massive resource in terms of using the understanding what the best geophysics tool is to target your particular commodity. In terms of tracking and supporting resource development in frontier areas, we are committed to the Amadeus Basin. That is our currently producing petroleum basin. I have a deep wish that it will be a mineral producing basin one day. But we are investing in on-ground, boots on ground mapping to improve the structure and stratigraphic story of this area. And you'll see that there's a poster in the foyer, so please go and have a look at that. Talk to our team, and we're going to produce. We intend to produce seamless 250K outcrop mapping across that whole basin, and seamless 1.5 million. 500,000 solid geology interpretation too, and that will really help us understand the subsurface structure and architecture of this basin. In terms of the Greater MacArthur Basin, the Berrindudu, is kind of our last missing piece on the Greater MacArthur, which links probably MacArthur, Tompkinson Province, which is at the northern end of the Tennant sort of area, and the Berrindudu at the west. That is a really there be dragons. Thank goodness we funded with Geoscience Australia in shooting the first seismic in that area, and that's really opened up the possibilities. And we have seen pickup of tenure on the basis of that new seismic data in an area that is vastly underexplored. What we decided to do with the limited data that we have in that area is pull it all together in a 3D visualization tool. So, to help explorers understand what controls there are on the stratigraphic intervals, the structure, what the mineral stories are, as far as we understand it. So all the data that we could possibly pull together is now pulled together in what's called the 3D compilation. So that's available and was released last year. It's a starting point for you guys to see what's possible in the Berrindudu. I'd like to say thank you to Susanna and Raphael. They did a really seminal piece of work on the sedimentology and mineral potential of the Berrindudu. Again, very data poor area, but they worked that data to an inch of its life. They've come up with a sequence stratigraphic framework, paleogeographic reconstruction, and a burial history, and used a mineral systems analysis approach to see the potential for sediment hosted copper in this basin. There's a lot of information in that product. It was released last year, so please have a look at that. And Susanna's here, so I'm sure she'd be keen to talk on any questions you might have on that product. We did quite a lot of work with different organisations on the applying geoscience to support a low emissions future. CSIRO, we did a lot of work on looking at the potential of selected onshore basins for carbon, hydrogen, and compressed air storage. So that's been released. It's a really nice piece of work. It's a kickoff point also where it identified where we have data gaps. So based on this work that was undertaken by CSIRO, we will develop projects going forward to improve our understanding of the geological storage potential of the onshore basins. There is no legislation at the moment currently to do that onshore in the Northern Territory, but that is being developed. So we want to make sure that by the time people are able to undertake geological storage, they have sufficient data to know how to do that in the best possible places and effectively. So that was released last year. Another really interesting project for those who were at the special session yesterday. There's Lois Greenfield from Aberdeen University gave a presentation on carbon or mineral carbonation in volcanic rocks. For most of us who know the NT, the Kalkarindji province is this massive basaltic flow, which whilst it has potential for, hopefully nickel, copper, and PGEs, it also covers a lot of other things that you can't see through it, which is mildly annoying. But Lois has done some really great work on some pretty old basalts to look at what the opportunities are to store carbon dioxide in this potentially rather large resource. Noting, of course, as Lois did yesterday, that this particular basaltic unit does actually go over the top of the Beetaloo. It's younger, sitting over the top of the Beetaloo. So Lois is here. Please come talk to her. I think she got a lot of questions from her presentation yesterday. But if you want to talk more about that, this is not a really interesting opportunity for the Northern Territory. Also, we had done another project on geothermal potential for geothermal power in generation of the Northern Territory. We'd done a project on this in 2006, 7, so it was about time for a bit of an update. And this is a very different look at which particular type of geothermal system would be most appropriate or most effective across the territory. So looking at hot sedimentary aquifers, engineered geothermal systems, and advanced geothermal systems. There's definitions of all those types of geothermal systems in this report. It's a really clever piece of work because it was pulling together 60 primary and derived data sets to just really integrate that data, because as people know in the geothermal space, there isn't a lot of data out there, so it's usually indirect data that you're looking at, to look at where was the greatest potential at depths of 3.5 and 5 kilometres. But also looking at the hardness of the overlying burden to indicate the costs thereof to do that, to look for geothermal. So there has been composite prospectivity maps released as part of this project for each of those types. And interestingly, the study found that the MacArthur really has the highest potential for all three. Having said that, also this project was designed so we can keep adding data to it and keep improving our understanding of the geothermal potential of the territory. So that's just a really quick overview. I missed Pine Creek. I don't know what happened to Pine Creek. So, oh, did I? Oh, I got to talk about Pine Creek. Thanks for that, Chris, because this is really important. This is our accelerating resource development in known mineral provinces. I'm not going to talk a lot about it because you'll see that in Barry Reno's and Alex Burton Johnson's presentations later in the program from NTGS. We went into the Pine Creek because it's polymetallic terrain. It hasn't really been looked at since possibly the 80s in terms of understanding the geology of the area. Peter Harris has been passionate about it for a long time. We finally listened to him. Our first step was to improve the geophysics. When we presented this at Aegis 2024, all our projects were in the kind of neophyte stage. What you'll see from the presentations later in this program from NTGS staff is how much we have changed the way we think about this origin. And this is only after 1 year of work. So I'm not going to say anything more about that. You'll have to come to their presentations. And what the other bit of work that you'll see a presentation from Damien Bray's tomorrow morning in the Tennant Creek session is a really refreshed look at what's going on in the copper and gold mineral systems in Tennant Creek. And this is he's only 1 year into his PhD. This is just the beginning. And we're certainly hoping that will open up a whole new way of targeting copper, gold mineral systems in the Tennant Creek area. So thank you for that, Chris. That got me back to that slide. So just in future work, we'll continue with the grants program. We love having feedback, don't we, Kate? About where we think we can do things a little better, make it easier for you. We want you to succeed. So give us feedback. But we're committed to that. It's a third of the funding that we get. We will continue to do a lot more geophysics. We've got a program together now for gravity. It'll be airborne magnetics and radiometrics, but we want to target our geophysics programs effectively. So please come and talk to us about that. When our poor 2 geophysicists have time, they will work on trying to update the accessibility of industry geophysics. And we'll also continue to update the petrophysical data sets. We'll continue with the Pine Creek. Um, that is just going to open up everybody's eyes to so many possibilities. It's going to be amazing. We want to expand our work in Tennant Creek. Sebastian Mefro were talking about it yesterday. So if you want to come and talk to us, and I'm pretty sure Don Dugdale has some pretty strong ideas about what could be done in Tennant Creek area, then come and talk to us because we want to continue that program. And we'll keep working in the Amadeus and the Greater MacArthur Basin, especially with the Berrindudu deep dive under resourcing Australia's prosperity. You'll hear from Paul Henson from Geoscience Australia that, and we'll probably keep working on the geological storage. We've got a new energy systems team. We'll continue to understand the geological storage and energy systems potential of our basins. But probably we're also starting a whole lot of projects on collaborating with researchers to understand the potential for critical and strategic minerals. And you'll see a presentation from Carl Spandler on the work that we're doing, looking at lithium in the binopegmatite fields and how that relates to how you can pick where the fertile lithium bearing pegmatites are. So a lot more to do. It's exciting times. So thank you.